Hey there, it's Steph. Welcome to the Stef Fox podcast.
Hi, friends. This is Steph. Welcome to the Stef Fox podcast. And today I am actually coming to you from my vacation. So my backdrop looks a little different. My hair looks a little different if you're watching this and not just listening. I am at the beach in Destin, Florida with my family. And I thought it would be fitting to just film a short podcast for this week's episode about rest because that's exactly what I'm doing. And I think as entrepreneurs and business owners, a lot of times we push off rest. And even when we build in something like a vacation, we don't always take the time to rest. And so I think, the point that I want to share, and I'm going to give you a few kind of research backed thought prompts on this today for your leadership journey. But the main point is leadership that is great is not about working harder. Great leadership is when you as a leader can show up consistently and regulated and joyful and really be the steward for the people that follow you. And if you think about people in your life that you know that are overwhelmed, anxious, overly busy, are they the kind of people that you would want to be your steward? I work with salon owners all over the country, and I can tell you that the majority of them find themselves in situations the majority of the time where they're emotionally taxed. And I believe, and this is from my own personal experience, I would say even more than my work as a consultant and coach for salons, but as my experience as a salon owner, that level of emotional fatigue because I didn't let myself rest really impacted the way I showed up for years in my business. And so now, know better, do better. And I hope to be able to share that kind of information with you guys so that you can know better and do better. So I think the first point that research really supports with this that I want to help you understand is that rest improves the quality of your decisions. Now, you might be thinking, Steph, who the heck has time for rest, right? I have a business and you might have a family. You might have outside responsibilities. You're worried about the financial elements of the business, always taking care of other people. And so your brain is on all the time. But the problem is when our brain is on all the time, our decision-making capacity is significantly reduced. In fact, you probably find yourself more in reaction mode than you do in calm, steady state, peaceful decision making. And let me be clear that reaction is not always like the puff up, be like reactive reaction. Reaction can also be the people pleasing, the nature that comes over you to just try to soothe and make it right and make everybody else feel good, but at your own internal compromise. And so if we know that rest improves the quality of our decision making, we have to ask ourselves, how, as a leader, do we want to give ourselves rest? And for some people, it's like all on, all off. Now, I functioned this way for many years. It was like go hard. And then I had the vacation planned, and then the vacation showed up, and it was like, I have to turn all this off. Like, I can't even look at it. I have gone so far as to like remove social media from my phone. Like, the app comes off the phone at times so that I wouldn't be tempted. Like, I was that much of a like black and white, all in, all out. But rest does not have to be that extreme, you guys. Rest could be taking a 10-minute walk after you eat lunch and just looking at the sun, looking at the animals, looking at the plants, smiling, having silence. I mean, gosh, one huge way I have found rest is to actually walk without music because music even just keeps your brain stimulated. Or I used to be like gosh, if you listen to my podcast, you know this about me. And certainly if you've met me personally or heard me speak, you know this about me. I am an overachiever to the max. And so I'm constantly in like, how do I dial that back to not like dial down my nature, which is to achieve and to build, but do it in a way that feels the way I want it to feel, which is easeful and peaceful. So I've had to even cut back from like listening to podcasts while I walk. I just have this nature that thinks like, be on, Stephanie, take in information, don't miss a minute. And it isn't even always a conscious act. But as I've become more aware of the power of rest, I've realized and become more conscious of when I'm not giving myself rest. So just again, rest doesn't have to be the vacation, doesn't have to be the all on, all off. Rest could be go on a walk, drive in your car without anything playing in the background. Don't pick up the phone and call somebody. Don't put the podcast on. Turn off the music. Just be in the silence. That can be restful. Now, the second really cool research back part of this, and I've had a lot of personal experience with this in the last year and a half, is your nervous system. You guys, as a leader, you may not realize how your nervous system actually sets the emotional tone for the entire salon. And if you step out of your own self, you can see it. And I'll give you the example. You all have or have had a person on your team that when they walk in the door, it's like the energy just sucks out of the space. It is like, woof, what's up with that person today? Or, oh, here we go. Or, oh, so and so's in the building. Energy is a frequency. Frequency is a measurable vibration. This is a real thing. This is not woo woo. Your nervous system is out of frequency. Your vibration is off when you are in a difficult place emotionally. And if you haven't rested, you're more likely to be reactive. You're much likely to be in that sympathetic state where you're in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Now, you can plaster a smile on your face all day long, walk in the salon, and pretend everything is fine. And oh my gosh, have we not coached our team to do exactly that? Leave it at the door. Guys, it doesn't work because the energy, the actual vibrational frequency coming off of your body, you can't leave that anywhere unless you shift it. So you can pretend that you're okay and put a smile on your face, but if your nervous system is out of whack, your team is going to feel it. So you are responsible as a leader to give yourself the rest so your nervous system can be regulated, so that your team is not bracing for you, so that they're not wondering, oh gosh, like what's wrong with Steph today? Is she going to be in a good mood or a bad mood? Because sustained nervous system dysregulation means you're going to be under chronic stress. So you're going to have hormone elevations off, your HRV is probably bad, your heart rate might not lower well at night. There's like so many realities that connect here that are related to your health. But then if your heart rate doesn't lower at night, you don't sleep as well, guys. I know I'm obsessed with my Aura ring because it tells me how well I slept and it tells me all these metrics. And oh my gosh, it's just my research brain, which you all know I'm obsessed with research, has just gone down the rabbit hole of how all of this is connected. So as a leader, rest will support your nervous system, and that means you'll be less guarded, less anxious, and more capable of serving your people, and then they will be less guarded, less anxious, more open, and that is the ticket to sustainable team building, you guys. So rest in the front end is going to help you show up in a way that keeps your team, and I just think making that connection for you is so important, because sometimes we think rest is selfish. No, rest is for the benefit of the people around you as much as it is for you. Now, the third thing we have to just debunk is rest does not mean doing nothing. Now, we think of rest sometimes like, oh, go sit on the beach, drink my pina colada, or sit on the beach, have my water, read my book, whatever is your cup of tea. But it doesn't mean you actually have to do nothing. It might just mean that you dial back from the overthinking, you dial back from the planning, you dial back from the having to be active. I mean, there's emotional rest, there's social rest, there's creative rest, there's physical rest. I suck at rest, I'm recovering in this way, but even in my physical, like gym life, oh my gosh, I would go, it's like if I didn't work out 6 days or 7, I felt terrible mentally. And then I was like, I got to go to the gym. I got to work harder. I got to get a double in. You guys, your body doesn't like that. It kicks up inflammation. It's overwork. You don't develop muscle. You're overstrained. Like, it's the same if you don't rest cognitively, if you just run like crazy as a leader. It's no good. So just remember that rest is not doing nothing. Rest can be intentional pause. Rest can be a walk. Silence. It can be a vacation. It can be a great conversation with a friend that just makes you laugh, and like you come out of it and energetically you feel so much more peaceful and so much higher frequency. Now, the last piece of this that kind of ties it all together, and you're going to see the theme here, is that rest is what helps you regulate instead of react. And man, you're building a business in an industry that is temperamental. It's all about the people. So we have people that walk in our business every day who don't have the skill of knowing when to rest. So maybe they're not rested and maybe they're reactive, which is going to make it 10 times more important that you are rested so that you can regulate when they react in a way that wants to throw you off and that you want to respond to in a way that your nervous system is not healthy. And maybe you puff up or you shut down or you people please. You've got to lead the way because you're the leader. So you have to believe and assume that nobody else in your business knows how to do this. So you better be modeling it. You better be showing up as the leader that people go, wow, you just feel good to be around. And the feel good comes because your nervous system is rested and regulated and your heart is feeling good. And trust me, in hard situations, this is not always the easiest to do. Your mind will spiral. You have to have something that anchors you when things feel hard. Now, I'm going to share my anchor, and you may have the same anchor, or it might be totally different. So whatever your anchor is, I just encourage you to have an anchor. For me, in hard times, when I know more than anything rest is actually what I need, I have to turn to my faith. So I have to trust. For me, I'm a Christian. That is, I need the Lord to come in and like, God, I got to give it to you because I can't handle this. My brain wants to kick into overdrive. I want to solve. I want to control. I want to grip it. I want that masculine energy that says, I'm going to solve this. That is kind of innately how I am driven to be. I don't want to be that way because the outcomes are never the best when I operate like that. And the whole journey to the outcome, quite frankly, sucks. Nervous system out of whack, stress levels off the charts, HRV bad, all the physical things. And in fact, I struggled with this for so many years. I was having autoimmune response in my body because of the level of stress I carried. So just believe me that I come to you as somebody that has worked really hard to recover from living a life without rest. And it is possible as I sit here on vacation, enjoying my boys. And maybe you're thinking, Steph, why are you filming a podcast if you're resting? Well, because this is creative for me and this feels like rest, this ability to talk about something that I love. This isn't a thing I have to do. This is the thing that because I'm rested, my brain was thinking, oh my gosh, all these salon leaders that I just love and I want the best for them. If they don't know this, they need to know this. And so here I am sitting in the bedroom of the condominium in Destin that I'm staying in, sending a message to you. I want you to know that you are loved and you are cared for, and that when you decide to do that for yourself, you can care for the people that you lead. So I want you to ask yourself, where are you taking time to recover? How are you doing that? It could be white space in your day. It could be a walk. It could be a phone a friend. It could be a scheduled vacation. One last thing I would share that I really have learned that serves my rest is I plan in once a quarter, 2 days, and it has to be 2 full days because my brain takes a while to shut down to get into rest mode. Maybe you struggle with that too. We can have a conversation about that. Send me a message on Instagram if you want to. I have to give myself 2 days a quarter that are like my creative rest days. And so the first day is like mindless. It's mental, like mind dump. It's journaling. It's doodling. It's reading a book that I've been wanting to read. It's taking notes on the book, slowing down long enough to do that because I'm not like, oh gosh, I only have 30 minutes to read right now. Like I gotta like get to it. No, it's actually pausing. And I use those 2 days to just refuel myself. They're the best kind of rest. I usually actually go away for that. I go a few hours away. I like a little drive. It helps set my tone. And I just rent a space. I don't take my kids with me. I don't take a partner. I don't take a friend. It is like Steph's time. So if you have the ability to do that for yourself. I hope that you have a beautiful, restful time this week, today, if you're listening to this, or if you feel so overwhelmed by the idea of rest that just right now it feels impossible, then do me this favor. Give yourself 5 minutes today to look at your calendar and find the next free space. And I don't care if it's a month, 2 months, 6 months from now, block it. Block the rest for yourself. And then do the work of getting diligent about blocking it more frequently. Have a beautiful day. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a follow, share it with a fellow salon owner who needs to hear it, and I will catch you next week.